The milk. You remember the milk. The milk.
Microscope. If they think you have a tapeworm, welcome to. That's the face of a tapeworm under a microscope. If they think you have a tapeworm, they have you put your face over a glass of milk.
I can't. No! Are you saying?
They put you face down in a massage chair where like you have the hole, and then they put milk right here so it comes, and then I would rather do a milk bath all day, every day.
It'll come up out of the person's throat into the glass of milk.
Yes. The Amish, that's what they do if people start to get an upset stomach. The first thing they do is they say, go put everyone in a milk bath.
They mean a bathtub that has milk in it, and they sit in there naked with their butts in the milk?
Yeah, the head of the tapeworm will come out of your anus, and then you have to grab the head and pull it out.
What kind of alien milk-loving creatures are these?
That's the face of a tapeworm under a microscope. If they think you have a tapeworm.
Okay, let's make sure that I'm transmitting. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted my screenshot to be. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted my
They have you put your face over a glass of milk.
I can't. No!
It is currently the 300th hour, 42nd minute. Are we Wednesday now? November 26th, 2025. We are. Stranger Things premieres tonight, season 5. All right, everybody, let's go check on my fire quickly. Then I'm gonna jam a little guitar. I was resting, but it got cold. I'm broadcasting at you from Canada. We gotta stay warm, you know. So I thought while that's happening, I'll let it cycle a few times and I'll jam some guitar. I've got a few songs in mind, but I'm mostly just gonna warm up, improvise, maybe jam to a backing track. Yeah, this will just be a short one. Kind of experimenting to see what constitutes as inactivity, which has been the reasoning for both my Facebook, or not Facebook, but YouTube and TikTok streams getting cut. I'm not certain if people would be flagging that that's what's up, but that's the reason I get on my end, inactivity. which I'm wondering if that means I'm inactively attending to the chat. That really shouldn't constitute as a reason for ending one stream. We shouldn't be obligated to answering every single thing everybody says. Especially us elders. I'm an elder millennial. Staring at these screens kind of burns my eyes out. So I'll be putting you up there next to Frieza in a minute and getting my lights on, pulling up my guitar for a little while, and getting on with a little bit of practice with my guitar, not my drums. Don't mind my messy little areas here. It's mostly organized. It's organized clutter, but it's not too much clutter, to be honest. Just mostly books and notepads. Okay, so I know how I can check the YouTube. I could go grab my other device, but I still have yet to create another TikTok account, which I would need in order to monitor the chat from there as well as the one from TikTok. Where, oh where did I put it last? Was I playing with it when I was sitting on my ass? Where, oh where, oh where, oh where? Oh, here it is. I just need a moment. Ba ba da ba, ba da ba ba da ba. Ba ba da ba 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 ba. Yeah, 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 yeah. So, beyond practicing guitar, I've got a political idea or two for Canada that popped into my head. Maybe it could be useful for other countries. I gotta wait for that device to turn on. I will be checking the chat momentarily. I'll go see what you're looking at or looking like from the back for now. I was reading from one of my psychology books, and what I've noticed with my study approach is it has evolved. Like, my goodness. I'm much more efficient at taking shorthand notes and at chunking big bits of information and or consolidating it into little bits. I was reading about the different parts of the memory systems. So not just about the long-term memory and the short-term memory and the working memory, but all the components of those, in how we code information into words and images and abilities, I suppose, which is information. It's all information. Or so it seems. Okay, so I'll be able to check the YouTube from down here. And I'll go up there in a moment and check and see what you've written. But basically, I'm just recording myself jamming a little guitar while I warm up the basement in the home. I was about to get into a full rest. But it's cold, it's Canada. got a health update. Well, kinda. It's more or less the same in terms of my scalp issue. That's for those who are aware. It hurts, and it's hurt every day for over a year. I'm not sure if the hospitals are dismissing my case and or misdiagnosing me in one case because they're incentivized against raising awareness about parasitic infections on account of how many diseases you'd resolve if people were regularly cleansing out the parasites and mold and heavy metals in their bodies. And by regularly, I mean once a year or maybe a few times. Do your research and be safe. I think the reason why I have my scalp issue is probably because I didn't follow full protocol when it comes to stabilizing your organs and attacking the parasites. I did get my gut health in check. I got my lymphatic system and all the organs connected to it in check. That was good, that was great. Where I think I made a mistake was I didn't always take a binder when I was doing the parasite cleanse. And so I've more or less stimulated war with them, and now they're in my scalp. Well, that's what I believe those are. Every now and again, it feels like something is crawling in there, like inside the scalp, and goop comes out of it. I don't know if you can see the red markings on my head, but they're there, and goop comes out, and it's clear at first, but then it turns black, and it looks like a bunch of little parasites. I've got a sample somewhere, but it's out of reach. Anyways, so what I think happened was I pissed them off, and now they're either just moving to what they believe is a safer place to be, as in my scalp, and what feels like my legs. Like sometimes it feels like they're crawling in other areas. All right. Okay, here we go. I can make sure that I'm transmitting. Zip zap, zip zap, zip zap, zip zap. Okay, here we go. I can make sure. So while I get my voice warmed up, lights on, etc., get my set and my scene established, I'm gonna put on a cover song from James Dalby. This could be anywhere in the world. Alexis on Fire. I might conclude my other note in a minute. Basically, there's incentive for them to not deal with my parasite issue. There's what I've already suggested, and it could go beyond that to the involvement with the police and where the hospital as well as other powers were utilized and weaponized against me. And so they refused just to treat me altogether. Just a quick story. I did go to a local pharmacy, and one of the dismissive responses I was met with when I was seeking help for my scalp was that I did it to myself. That's what one of the women decided to get up and tell me. Anyway, this could be anywhere in the world, James Dalby. I got some political notes for later.
Hello. Happy Saturday.
I'll check the chat quickly.
This town has its claws buried in my neck. This town, it takes lives without mercy, without hate. The streets are in distress. The sun suffocates behind darkened skies.
Yush the First says, do you live in a cabin? Kind of. He said hi. Trisha says she's had no sleep, online awake for 24 hours. Then before the break, because our steps seal your fate. I wouldn't recommend staring at a screen if you're trying to get to sleep. That affects the brain in all kinds of ways. You could be lacking vitamin D right now as well. E said, did you learn scar tissue yet? No, I didn't. I'll go write it down right now, E. Okay. Oh no, that was my pencil. The ground's a juggernaut. Mama, it's your baby. Or Mama, it's your baby. Says, what's your name? Where do you live? What's your mission? Oh wow, that's kind of loud right there, eh? I feel like I have to contend. I'm not ignoring you, TikTok. I'll bring you down in a minute and give you the same level of attention. YouTube's actually happening tonight. Usually there's not this many people chit-chatting. Yep, feel free to chat amongst yourselves. And please note that sometimes I get disconnected from my stream, as in it's like ended, both on TikTok and YouTube. With the claim that I'm being inactive, though I'm doing like basically this only with my drums or my guitar or my carpet board. So I don't understand it. Maybe they mean like I'm inactively engaging with the chat, which I'm trying to make an effort to, but like I really don't think that should be a criteria to ensure that you're meeting what's required to define your actions as active. Oh, where did my patch go? It's right there. Yeah, that's right, E. It helps with my eye. That's also why I don't want to stare at the screen. Yeah, I always say I'll learn what songs people are asking for, but I don't. Maybe I will this time, E. Scar tissue. Is that a salt lamp? Yes, it is, E. Okay, I'm going to put you all up there for a minute, and then I'm going to talk to TikTok. Souls. Okay, what's up, TikTok? See, YouTube's up there now. I'm giving you both equal treatment here. I'm seeing if you're chatting. I'm checking it quickly. That was James Dalby, everybody. Alexa's on fire. This could be anywhere.
All the weeks I've done like it's the 13th one I've done. So that makes 14 tomorrow, so that's loads in it. Have a good day.
AI summarized my introduction with guitar and Stranger Things. Yep. Season 5 tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Netflix. This Calling, James Dalby. Actually, let's skip on over to The Crimson by Atreyu, covered by Zach Mayer and company. This is just some filler bits before I get my guitar and do some practicing. Probably gonna go stick another piece of wood in my stove and then I'll get on getting with it. Boys do cry. Why can we feel desolate for so long? The AI also summarized my stream as guitar practice and Parasite talk. Oh, to claim its latest victim, to become what I became. Would you hold me when you see what I've done? Would you still kiss me the same? My victim's blood, I feel it flowing from your lips. Your heart is dead and so are you. Desire to make the change. All my past failings. That's right, we're putting your jet black aura back on you, you mother suckers, if that's what you're up to. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Would you still kiss me the same when you taste my victim's blood? I feel it flowing from your lips. Lies I told me about myself. I wouldn't hope no one won't give in. Try not to die again. Try not to die again. Just live and breathe. Try not to die again. Just live and breathe. Try not to die taste my victim's blood, feel it flowing from your lips. Your heart is dead, and so are you. And I pray in my highest sovereign self's name that any influences coming from the music tonight do not affect myself nor any on listener in any negative way. So make it so slow beat is on.
With up to a 30% off and enjoy our 20
Gonna get my guitar out. I'm gonna take a quick look behind the scenes before I get on really getting with it. But it's gonna be happening here for a short bit of time. I did mention I was going to put a log in the stove, but I think it'll be alright for about 20 minutes. We've got time, we've got time. I'm in my usual location, so I can more or less trust where the cameras are. Though I do prefer to have a monitor that I can peek at once in a while. I don't want to be burning my eyes out looking at it, you know. You youngins, I'm telling you, you don't know until you know, and then when you know, you'll know. And you'll be like, oh, we should have listened to that dude. He was trying to warn us. We gotta take care of our eyes. These screens are hurting them. All I have is time, All I need is hope to bury in pine under 6 feet of time the lies I told me about myself. That's not exactly what he says. I'll crawl my way out, pick the splinters from under my fingernails. I won't lose hope, I won't give in. Just live and breathe. Try not to die again. Just live and breathe. Try not to die again. Just live and breathe. Try not to die again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Would you still kiss me the same? I don't know if it's wise for anyone to nominate me as the lead singer in the band, because sometimes I will just laugh and I won't give a fuck about it. I've got a tendency to be playful. I can take it seriously enough. You know, I can genuinely insert my emotions, but sometimes I'm just playing, not taking it seriously. Setting, time and place, everything, etc. It goes beyond psychedelics, folks. Set and setting. I've got to get my guitar tuned. I was considering jamming along to a backing track or like mainly improvising, but also working on a song or two in terms of singing and playing it. I think I'm in the shot here. I can check the YouTube cam, but I can't check the TikTok cam from down here. I'm just gonna have to trust that you can all see me. Alright, I'll get to the comments in a bit. I don't want to be rendered as inactive again, which I'm not entirely certain how. I'm rather consistent in my output, though I'm not always interacting with the chat. If you happen to like watching people jam, chit chat, I play drums, guitar, sing. I talk about every fucking thing. You know what to do. So my political note is just rather quick and short. I was thinking, considering they apparently printed more money. According to the Conservative cabinet, the Liberal did that to try and remedy something. And they're considering some kind of credit card. And they were considering UBI, they might still be considering that. In regards to the debate on how to spend the money and everything, to what they're usually debating in Parliament. In terms of all that, I was thinking, you know, there's a few ways. There's a few ways that we could remedy the country's debt, the national debt, and help the people, which in turn will make better choices for themselves and the planet. There's more than a couple, but I'll discuss a couple. A couple of ways that we can remedy our current situation and make it better for everybody here. And maybe possibly others beyond our walls. But first, let's take care of home. I was thinking, because they were willing to print more money, which, you know what? I'm glad they tried something. I'm glad they tried something. At the risk of increasing more inflation, or rather, though this could increase inflation, my idea here, one of my ideas, You could have the Corporation of Canada, or if you want to call it the Country of Canada, absolve everyone's debts, but one class section at a time, and I'll get into specifics about that in a moment, and as to why you should do it in sections. It's all about timing with my plan. I'm still a little bit out here. So what they could do is not only absolve the debt, and this is one plan idea. I've got multiple. With a promise made to the people that they choose better, they take care of the planet more, and they behave better amongst each other. We either completely eliminate the carbon tax for residentials, and I would keep it for, this is more so part of another plan, but I would just eliminate the carbon tax for citizens and keep it on for big industries, and or just cut the tax in half. And then it should even out, and if I'm feeling this out right, I'm thinking overall food's still going to be cheaper. And at first, the first part of that plan is what I would do is before inflation sets in, just absolve the debt and maybe give some people some food stamps in a sense. So not only are they happy that they don't have to bounce their checks around to pay the minimums of all their debts and such, which I don't talk to everybody and I haven't checked all the the statistics on this, but it seems like the average person is in a fuckload of debt and more or less just paying the minimum on all their different credit cards and debt departments, let's say. So once they have that abundance of money, they're going to be able to make better choices, and with the cost of food going down, at least a little bit, which I think it will if we do it this way, you either cut the carbon tax in half or cut it all together, and you absorb everybody's debt. Are you with me so far? You can make it a promise to the people that if they continue to make better choices for themselves and the planet, that the carbon tax either stays 50% lower than what it is now or is completely eliminated. Or wait, I got a better idea. You could cut it to half for a period of time until what was indebted from absorbing all of the country's debt more so balanced out back to where we are now. Once we've gained traction and stuff, then at that point you could reduce the carbon tax again based on the performance of the people in terms of caring for each other and the planet. It's not to say everybody's got to kiss each other's asses and like each other, but there's got to be enough with the nonsense at work, the extracurricular nonsense. It's difficult enough to get a job. You don't need to be dealing with bullying and gang stalking and things of that nature once you do, right? Which I acknowledge that gang stalking can occur from outside forces as well as inside, but more or less gang stalking is just a mob form of behavior in which certain people commonly manipulate the hive. They commonly imbibe them against whoever they don't like, and depending on where they are in the hierarchy, they might be able to influence that type of result. Like, you think people would be happy with having a decent job, but no, they've got to take on extra work at work and try to fuck over people from working. I say if you made it that far, they should leave you the fuck alone. If you're doing your job, you're doing a good job, leave them alone. Like, otherwise, we should be able to enact consensual law, which is available in Canada, but we don't have castle law. That's another issue I might save for another time to discuss. I might try to shorten my plans. I didn't rehearse them or anything, but I thought because the government was willing to print money that maybe they'd be willing to just put the debt into one pile and we could eventually pay it off in one way or another, like I've already discussed, and I have at least one other, and then I'm going to move on to some other points here, and actually I'm going to move into practice right after this other suggestion. And then I might put on a backing track. Now I hope this doesn't get me silenced or shadow banned or anything, but considering how many of the population have trusts attached to their birth certificates, and how many of those trusts are going to be absorbed by the government anyways if they're not claimed, which in many cases they're not, why can't we use those funds to help? Like, I guarantee if everybody had access to withdrawing it maybe in its entirety, which would most definitely cause chaos, but I was thinking restricting it to or no, I don't even think you can restrict it. I'm gonna have to research this more before I fully present my idea, but there is money attached to our birth certificates, and they could probably use that to help alleviate the country's debt and eliminate a lot of the problems. So it seems like the government's only ever arguing over where are we going to spend the money, how are we going to keep this country going as a corporation. And I'm not like one side with any political affiliation nor direction. Sometimes I agree with this side, other times the other side, etc., etc. In case it wasn't clear, I'll put it in short. One way that we can absolve the debt and actually improve people's behaviors and enrich their lives, which, if we're better taken care of and less stressed out and we're better rested and things of that nature, we're going to make better decisions for the planet. And considering in Canada we're under a liberal rule, you would imagine that would be the desired direction, which I'm not saying it isn't. I also consider the powers behind the powers and the powers behind those powers and the infinite retrograde of powers upon powers. So I acknowledge that whatever's going on isn't completely whoever's fault. It's more of a combination of a collective issue and a powers that be issue. And on the note of the powers that be, I understand that they do want some of us to struggle and some of us to chew on their eugenics mousetraps, so to speak. And I get it. So I've got solutions for that too. Even in my plan where, say, people were to cash out of their Their trusts, which I'll summarize. I know I said I was going to, and I didn't exactly summarize both points yet, but that's coming, everybody. That's coming. I'm going to turn this light on so I can read through my notes. There's a part of my memory system I was just using there, but I can't currently recall the term for it. It's not episodic memory. Or maybe it's one of the terms that I was reading and I haven't written down yet. Okay, I think I remember it, but I don't have it written down. It's, I don't know, it's a term that I would probably re-term, but the definition of it's pretty interesting. Oh, here it is. Automaticity. Automaticity. A-U-T-O-M-A-T-I-C-I-T-Y. Automating the performance of behavioral or thought processes with little to no effort involved. Kind of like when I'm just moving around making melodies and finishing sentences. It's much easier when I'm not busy, you know, with multiple things. But that's what I'm getting pretty good at, just automating all of this. What I do on my broadcasts. So one way that both sides of the powers that be could be happy is that with that abundance of money throughout the classes, there's going to be a lot more of those who typically would be spending their abundance on party favors doing just that. So that could help that. I was also thinking PvP zones, like I mentioned in previous broadcasts. That could generate money and it could help people purge their anger. Because let's just be honest, we're a warlike and territorial race, alright? Why not put that option out there for people of a certain age and older? Maybe 25 and up, maybe 33 and up, I don't know. And since I'm typically pointing out the maladaptive behaviors of one level of government being the police, maybe I'll say something that's more so neutral. And that's that I see both sides of the cookie. I see what they deal with, and I see what we got to deal with from them too. There's good and bad in everyone and everything, including the good and the bad, and the bad work with the good work with the bad. Duality. Etc. So that's my more so neutral statement toward them. Like, I get it, they take verbal abuse and this and that, but you know, I was putting myself in the position of the cop that I was watching on YouTube, the one that was getting called the names, and I was thinking that if I was there, I'd probably be laughing by that point. Like, I know it could be infuriating, but that's only if like what they're saying is true and you haven't like accepted whatever it is about yourself. One thing that find helps one thing that I find helps limit the influence that people have in terms of trying to trigger you and such is kind of just like looking at everybody like they're a puppy. That's all. Just let the puppy do what the puppy does. As long as the puppy doesn't bite, there's no need to bite the puppy. You know what I'm saying? If all they're doing is mouthing off, it's not a big deal. I know it's not okay either, but you have to look at it from some of these people's perspectives. We're at the collapse of Western civilization, where more or less people are forced to live with multiple tenants under one roof and one threshold, or how do I explain this in legal terms? In a shared living occupancy, let's say that instead. So you add that in with all the other factors throughout society, be it dietary, which have you analyzed the ingredients in the food and maybe considered that might be contributing to people's maladaptive behaviors? It doesn't justify them, but it helps you understand why they're behaving the way they are. And if you've ever had a pet dog, a doggy, who's had worms, tapeworms, parasites, or whatever, you might notice that their behavior shifts because of it. Or maybe you don't know that that's why, but that does influence that. And considering the average person in the West here in Canada and or America is unaware of how to approach, or that they even should be engaging in parasite cleanses, means that there's a lot of people with parasite infections, infestations, which does affect their behavior. Commonly makes people more aggressive. And there's parasites that you don't only get from foods, and everybody gets them. This isn't something that's only to a certain demographics. Everybody gets parasites regardless. You get them if you travel, you get them if you eat pork, which you can still eat pork, but if you eat it with cloves and a binder, then you can both kill and get rid of the eggs without having your body reabsorb them and send them to your scalp like mine did, which I think that's what happened, but I'm not completely certain. Long story short, I'm getting fucked around with the medical. I'm getting fucked with around by the medical personnel in my area and anywhere that I go to that receives a call from them, because it turns out that strangers are more than willing to just believe gossip and act upon it just cause. Most likely to purge their anger. Like, this is a problem throughout all of society. It's not just those on the bottom, but those on the bottom are commonly forced into tighter living quarters, which can also increase the aggression. So you've got parasite infestations, you've got lack of personal space, you've got malnourishment, you've got media propaganda. Not that it's all propaganda, but there's influence from that in the music, and I could break down a whole bunch of areas of that, both scientifically and esoterically. There are many influences increasing the aggressive levels on the planet. Another one, and this was done by design, I believe. I'm going to get on with singing a song in a minute. But another one is that it's how we're cultured through copious amounts of neglect. Which I could go even deeper into, but I don't know, I'm kind of tired right now if it's not noticeable. I guess I should make that clear. Or maybe the parasites in my scalp have tapped into my brain and that's why I'm fucking up my sentences. I don't know, but it feels like some of them are crawling in there sometimes. And I would be so grateful if I could meet with a medical professional who would actually take time to listen to me and not just be unnecessarily dismissive and or aggressive. Like, just because I talk kindly and everything doesn't mean there's not a whole beast right here. One of the cops, out of the many who came and trespassed my space and my person, was probably like 6 or 7 inches taller than me, weighed more than me, and I got that motherfucker down. And I'm not trying to encourage anybody to attack the police. I was defending myself, and I was able to get those charges dismissed. But I didn't get compensated, at least not yet. And they really fucked me over big time. They didn't just try to kill me and injure me. They succeeded at injuring me. They also tried to get me incarcerated away to a mental health facility rather than just like a, what do they call that in the hospital? The psych ward. Rather than just a ward. They wanted to put me in the big house. Or they call that the bug house. That's what it is. And it wasn't only motivated from that night. There's been a long, active agenda for some in my community to attempt that over me because, well, one motivating factor is all of what was tied into what I was supposed to be the beneficiary of in terms of what some relatives left in their will. Like there was a lot, so there's some motivation on that level. There's motivations from others, but they all relate to greed. And there's multiple groups participating in this, but the fact of the matter is because of all the tomfoolery against me, I can't get any medical professional to treat me seriously. And I'm running out of patience with these people altogether. Not just because that's not okay to treat people like that, especially when they were innocent. I'm just being fucked with because people needed to frame a narrative in order to secure or succeed their agendas, whatever they may be. But because my scalp has literally been in physical pain every day for over a year, and I'm concerned that whatever is in there might have actually tapped into my brain, and that might be the reasoning why, as of lately, I've been experiencing more frontal lobe action in terms of pain. I've been experiencing regular and frequent migraines. Blah, 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 blah. Thanks for listening if you have been. I'm going to get on with learning the song in a minute. I didn't plan on coming on here for very long. I am going to make sure that you can still see me, however. P.S. I'm neurodivergent. You can translate that however the fuck you want. Ugh. I'm coming up to see us. It looks like I'm still streaming. I'm still streaming, so that's good. Right on. Right on. YouTube seems to be more active with the talkie. Okay, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to check you out too, TikTok. Just hold on. Let's see. It's 4:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. AI has recently summarized what I've been doing and talking about as practice and sing, discussing societal issues in singing. Share your favorite song. I am impressed with AI. This is handy. It's like having an assistant, really. Okay. Yeah, it seems like TikTok's much more active than YouTube, but in terms of people talking in the chat and such, YouTube's winning there. I'm going to put yous back up here. I'm not going to be on much longer. I didn't intend to stream at all. I was just taking it easy, and I was actually planning on more so being consistent to a one stream per week sort of approach, at least for now. Just work on my crafts and all of what I do here and beyond in the meantime. have to check that fire rather soon. I think I'm going to start by skimming through Clairvoyant by the story so far. I've got some other songs I might hit up, but I don't plan on being here long. I'm not certain what I'm going to do in terms of broadcast scheduling. I kind of like just going with the flow, but once a week seems like about where I should be at, considering like it's not exactly a job or anything, but it could be a job one day, you never know. For some people, I see that it is. Just getting paid to basically be themselves, but I've noticed a lot of them kind of follow formats to live performance musicians, which is good and everything. I just thought because of it being social media that it made sense to be social about it. Let's see here. Hopefully I can remember the melody. Oh no, I don't remember the verses melody. Maybe the chorus. I might have to listen to this. Cleric of it, you never disappoint. Weird tuning. Okay. Okay. I'm not gonna do the tuning that they use. I'm just gonna make up something for now. The story so far. Clairvoyant. I think that you'll notice when things become different. The good vibes in our lives won't feel so consistent. Oh, there we go. I've got a stand for this. I think that you'll notice when things become different. The good vibes in our lives won't feel so consistent, and less becomes more 'cause the weight is too heavy. I swim in the water that's breaking your levee. The way that you left me is alright. It's alright. No, I don't know how the melody goes for this part. The way that you left me is alright. It's alright. Yeah, I'm not remembering here. If I argue the point, then we yell and we fight. Let's just listen to the cover. Whoa.
I think you'll notice when things become different. The good vibes and not vibes will feel so consistent. And less becomes more 'cause the weight is too heavy. I'm swimming the water that's breaking your levee. The way that you left me is alright. It's alright if I argue the point, then we yell and we fight. And I won't be on for the rest of the night. You might hate my words, but you know that I'm right. You know that I'm right.
But you know that I'm right. It's like I'm a little bit flat in my tuning, or he is.
This is your life, there's no way to run from it. The doubt in your brain or the pain in your stomach. I only ever one complaint at the moment. Don't paint me black when I used to be golden. The way that you left me is alright, it's alright. If I argue the point, then we yell and we fight. And I won't be on for the
Yeah, it's like I have to bend it to pitch a little.
You might hate my words, but you know that I'm right. You know that I'm right.
Clara covered everybody with the story so far. Clairvoyant. You might hate my words, but you know that I'm right. The way that you left me. Yeah, the lyrics here are correct in the tab. That's why it's not working out here. I think that you'll notice when things become different. The good vibes in our lives won't feel so consistent. And less becomes more 'cause the weight is too heavy. I swim in the water that's breaking your levee. The way that you left me is alright, it's alright. If I argue the point, then we'll yell and we fight. And I won't be home for the rest of the night. You might hate my words, but you know that I'm right. You know that I'm right. It almost sounds like chicken picking in it, but it's definitely a different tuning than this, so I'm not going to try and imitate it exactly. The way that you left me is alright, it's alright. If I argue the point, then we'll yell and we fight. And I won't be home for the rest of the night. You might hate my words, but you know that I'm right. You know that I'm right. Alrighty, 4:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here. My roommate is upstairs. We keep my voice down for a minute. I'm gonna review a song that I went over throughout last broadcast / practice session. Humming, Turnover. That previous one was Clairvoyant by A Story So Far, or The Story So Far. Carelessly pass the hours, humming songs you heard when you were young. Positively unattached, not even unattracted to the buzz. Elated with your lack of interest, what a wonderful and different song. Show me why you're always smiling, laugh again and make me fall in love. Oh, just take me where you go. When it gets dark without you, I won't make it out. I don't think I'll make it out alive. I wanna run and hide with you tonight. I know that I can make it out. With you, I know I'll make it out alive. Let me know your secret. Tell me how you color all the empty space. Drawn outside the lines, your words a lively illustration you create. Chasing you, I'm falling through the rabbit hole, deep down into an old slope evenly. You're pulling me ever faster as we go, spinning out of control. Oh, just take me where you go. When it gets dark without you, I won't make it out. I don't think I'll make it out alive. I wanna run and hide with you tonight. I know that I can make it out. With you I know I'll make it out alive. Just take me where you go. When it gets dark without you, I won't make it out. I don't think I'll make it out alive. Humming, Turnover. It's kind of like a rough version I've put together for now, but I think it works all right. I might roll through the Red Hot Chili Peppers song in a moment or so. First, I want to go through something I haven't heard in some time. Actually, before I move on with that, I saw water. I said I wanted to break my friends, but my dependency won't let me awake. I like to think that I can work it out some, but I just wanna be put into the ground. Today I needed a... Wait. I gotta figure out where this fits. This is I Saw Water by Tiger's Claw. I saw water. I said I wanted to break my friends, but my dependency won't let me awake. I like to think that I can work it out some, but I just wanna be put into the ground. Today, I needed a break, my friends are up in mountains and I'm drowning in lakes. I swallowed water right in front of her face just to show that she had nothing to say. Yeah, he got up and he smoked a cigarette. That's all I can breathe in right now. So I do need a drink of water. I'm getting kind of choked up from it. I felt lighter. I impressed her. My emotions ran unopposed. I felt just like Brian Jones. I've never felt that lost before. I just don't feel incredible, but me. Now I know why I'm not comfortably hitting the melody. The last time I played this song, I had the capo to here. I keep thinking like I'm not doing it high enough, but it's in key with what my current tuning is. My emotions ran unopposed. I felt just like Brian Jones, Beach Boys. I've never felt, or is that from the Stones? I'll have to look that up. I just don't feel incredible, but me. Well, of course I liked you. Have time for me. I don't expect you to. I see me became a recluse. It's buried, easy to seclude. Alright, I like this song. I think I'm going to put more effort into it and I'll finish through it now. Then I might go through another, but then that's it. Then I'm getting off. I don't even know if I'm still broadcasting right now, but if you can hear me, you can find me on here on TikTok or YouTube, Pole Heron Light Striker, or _northern_light. I'm just jamming away, guitar, drums, singing, talking, whatever I feel like. Oh, I just thought of a song. Where did my pencil go? I'm gonna check if you're still there, E. If you're not there, I'm not learning that Red Hot Chili Peppers song. I don't normally pick like mainstream music, but I do like the Chili Peppers. And by that I mean like whatever's on the radio. I usually try to pick songs that aren't. I figure there's less of a chance of getting copyright strike if I get it, right on point. I'm just talking to my YouTube people here, TikTok. Glad I'm still streaming, transmitting. It's not saying I'm inactive and all that. Freebird was asked about. I might. And was it E? I don't know if you're still here, E. Yeah, you did. You asked for scar tissue. If you're still here, say so, and maybe I'll learn it this time. Freebird is a maybe, Renrat. 1585. Sophie or Soft Films 1234. Hey bro, nice guitar and nice singing. Keep going. Thank you. Can you play some Zach Bryan? I'm not sure who Zach Bryan is, but I'll check him out for next time. I just screenshotted that. I'll go through TikTok real quickly here and then etc. All right. When's the last time AI summarized everything I'm doing? Karaoke practice and song review. Thank you, AI. All right. Okay. It seems like people talk less on TikTok. But TikTok seems a lot more active. Okay, let's see if I remember this Triumph song. Fight the good fight. I'm just gonna skim through it. I'm learning songs here. Sometimes I perform them. Other times I make them up. I've got some original content on TikTok and YouTube in terms of songs and such, as well as other stuff. The days grow shorter and the nights are getting long. Feels like we're running out of time. Every day it seems much harder telling right from wrong. I can't recall the melody for this song. You got to read between the lines. I'm tempted to put a capo on for this one. I'm going up to the B flat. Don't get discouraged, don't be afraid, we can make it through another day. Make it worth the price we pay. And down to G minor. The good book says it's better to give than to receive. I do my best to do my part. Nothing in my pockets, I got nothing up my sleeve. I keep my magic in my heart. Oh, that's cool because they go from G major to G minor. I kind of hit my broadcast practice approach from like an analytical angle. I like to talk about it out loud and learn about it that way because I do review these playbacks, these streams, and it all helps me figure it all out. I recommend recording and reviewing whatever you're doing. Gaining that observer's perspective is very, very beneficial. Keep up your spirit, keep up your faith, baby. I'm counting on you. You know what you've got to do. This is a song from my fellow, I was going to say former, but my fellow Canadians. I do believe they're still alive. They're Triumph. I'm going to go through a more familiar song right now, but this one's pretty good. I'm going to put it on the list as a maybe. Magic Power is what I'm going to hit up now. I didn't intend to stream this long, but here we are. I think I might close with this one. Something's at the edge of your mind and you don't know what it is. Something you were hoping to find and you're not sure what it is. And then you hear the music and it all comes crystal clear. Maybe that parasite is in my brain. The music does the talking, says the things you wanna hear. I'm young, I'm wild, and I'm free. I've got the magic power of the music in A sus4. I'm young, I'm wild, and I'm free. I got the magic power of the music in me. She climbs into her bed, she pulls the covers overhead, and she turns her little radio on. She's had a rotten day, so she hopes the DJ's gonna play her favorite song. Ah. Well, it makes her feel much better, brings her closer to her dreams. A little magic power makes it better than it seems. Better than it seems. She's young, now she's wild. She wants to be free. She gets the magic power of the music from me. She's young, she's wild now, she wants to be free. She gets the magic power of the music from me. Okay, no, it's like this. Oh no, wrong note. Yeah, I'll get this bridge in a minute. This is a pretty great song. Let's try this one more time. Thinking it over, you just can't sort it out. Do you want someone to tell you what they think it's all about? Are you the one and only who's sad and lonely? You're reaching for the top. Well, the music keeps you going, and it's never gonna it's never gonna stop. Okay, so that'll take some work, the bridge section, but that's okay. Here's where the solo section is actually supposed to be, right after that part. D, C, G 4 times. red tape. But the music's got the magic. It's your one chance for escape. Turn me on, turn me up. It's your turn to dream. A little magic power makes it better than it seems. I'm young, I'm wild now. I want to be free. I've got the magic power of the music in me. Well, I'm young, I'm wild now. I want to be free. I've got the magic power of the music. I got the music. I've got the music. Yeah, yeah. In me. I'm getting kind of hungry actually. I've got hunger in me. Something like that. Figure this out later. I got the power. I got the magic. You've got the power. You've got the magic. We've got the power. We've got the magic. And my fridge has a little bit of food, so I'm gonna go tend to that. Maybe I'll be on more often, I don't know. We'll have to see everybody. I've been getting some woodshed practice hours. All right, that's what I've been doing. I've been practicing behind the scenes, etc. Sometimes I come on here and do that too, but I mostly just wing it. It's less structured, but there is a structure to it. It's more so just unorthodox. Okay, I see y'all there. Yep. Let's just pull out one here. I got you both held on to YouTube and TikTok. You can't see each other, but we're gonna see what's happening here. I gotta go put that wood in there. I'm talking about it in the wood stove. If you're wondering what this is, it's just some ergonomical push-pull hand patterns that I applied over paradiddle rudiments. Sounds more complicated than what it is, but it's very efficient for gaining speed and gaining ideas, I find. I'm not an expert drummer, but I approach it with an imaginative mind. I'm not sure if other drummers don't do that or not, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's the most efficient way and what's going to unlock like fluency. So I kind of permeate every possible pattern between the push and pull strokes as well as right and left strokes, independently and codependently between my feet and such. I'm better at guitar. I'm pretty alright at singing, I guess, but I'm probably the best at guitar with everything that I do musically. Okay. So we'll put that one at the top. That's our first one here. We've got the waterfall, everybody. I'm not certain what the moon is transiting right now. I know the sun is said to be in Sagittarius, though according to ancient astrology, it would be going into the mutable water sign, so that would be Pisces. I'm gonna go take a look. You can just look at my feet. I've got webbed toes in case you're wondering. It's in Aquarius. Yeah, there we go. And I'll be shifting to Pisces tonight or this morning, one of the two. So it makes sense why tonight was kind of like weird, energetically speaking, I suppose. If we're just looking at sun and moon transit combinations and how it synergizes to influence us. Or maybe the parasites have begun to eat into my brain. Which makes me think I want to cover some Pink Floyd next time I pull up the broadcast. Hey You, and some other songs from The Wall, and maybe some other albums. Like, there's so many songs to go over from all different kinds of genres. I'm considering setting out some dedicated set lists, maybe making mashups between generations and genres. Sticking to playing the lesser knowns as well, like Turnover, Tiger's Claw, The Story So Far, some Thrice, some Rufio. While I was playing whatever a minute ago, I was thinking about playing some Scaring Kids. I was thinking that might mesh well with the other ones that I was playing. I Saw Water by Tiger's Claw, and Clairvoyant by A Story So Far, or The Story So Far. I was also thinking and considering playing Atreyu's I'll Wait For You, but I changed my mind on that because I wanted to pick a song that flowed best with the other one that I was playing. Oh, and I'm going to remind myself to go over Simple Man. I think that's what Buddy requested here. No, Freebird by Lynyrd Skynyrd. Okay. So those are notes for my future self. If I'm just talking about myself in this reading, it would seem that I've finally cracked the fontanel, so to speak. And now all that I've been working on and processing is ready to flow through my talents and could be aided with more time spent in the natural world. Even though it's cold, I've got some ski pants and such. I can get out there. I love taking the doggy for a walk in the woods. It's perfect. It's more like waking the doggy at that point. But yeah, the humble star, most definitely. I'm not egoic or cocky about anything I do. I'm more so analytical. And I am humble in terms that I won't like stroke my own ego about something I'm good at. But I also won't be like detrimentally humble and like basically lie. Like, oh no, I don't know how to do anything on guitar. Mr. Fumble Fingers here. Fucking terrible. But that's how the average person is, right? With anything that they do. That's how we've been conditioned in society. Like, oh, it's somehow bad to give yourself a fucking compliment. Just acknowledge what is, etc. I'm going to get off though, everybody. I'm impressed that the streams haven't shut down like they have a few times. I'll get the message on TikTok and or YouTube where it says you were inactive, so the stream has ended and blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking like, why? Like, how am I inactive here? Anyway, that's a problem for another time. If you want to catch me practicing guitar, drums, sharing my ideas, maybe riding that carpet board over there. Or doing some exercise or whatever the fuck. Oh, speaking of carpet board and exercise, I think I found a way to implement some boxing footwork into some freestyle skateboard tricks. I can't wait until there's pavement for me to skate again because I'm imagining that the gap from now till then, considering that I've been walking on that skateboard, that carpet board every day pretty much, it is going to be quite surmountable. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm not trying to count my chickens before they hatch, but just considering how much more actively engaged I am with that carpet board, that skateboard, and how I'm just walking from that end of the basement all the way over to here and back, doing freestyle tricks like jaywalking, walking the dog, imitation G-turns because I don't have trucks on it. But anyway, I've been figuring out all the ways I can spin my body and the board, get on the board. Maybe I'll go from being an amateur to being like whatever levels after that. Not professional, but I'm not a beginner. I'm not a beginner at this point, but yeah, I would say I'm roughly an amateur. And after this winter, once I've been able to integrate whatever I've been doing onto the pavement, I think I could go up to the next level. Not that I care about that, but I do care about improving at what I do. And, you know, I like doing it just because it's fun. But you get a bigger dopamine boost when you improve. So that's great. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to check out my content on both YouTube and TikTok. I've got original music out there. I've got original content, me just hanging out doing what I do here. A lot of the time I'll strip my live stream stuff for content, but I have made some pre-recorded stuff and I do plan on experimenting more with that. For now, I'm just getting my experience doing the broadcasts for the most part, but yeah, I look forward to more stuff in the future. I'm busy behind the scenes here, etc., etc. Take care, everybody. Believe in yourself, you know. Try to go in and reflect as opposed to rushing in to project. I find that's a helpful thing to do. When you start to realize often and more often than not that people are more so just mirrors, it gets easier to rise above the desire to react and be triggered. And that's even easier when your diet's cleaned and you're rested, you're relaxed, you know, taken care of, all that. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Loving can hurt, but it's the only thing that I know. When it gets hard, you know it gets hard sometimes. Okay, I'm really getting off now. Take care, everybody. Whoop.